Imagine the feeling that just imagine this, the wealth of New York is based on your labor, and yet you're not getting anything from it. And because of this, and this is very important, you generation after generation, it's what Christians talk about. Groups come in to this country and pass you by. It's gotta make you angry. You follow what I'm saying? Does anybody want to put it into their own words, what I'm saying? So you've heard of the Salem witch trials, which was far lighter, far more passive, didn't burn anybody, didn't torture anybody. And yet in New York in 1741, people were tortured and burned, and this history has been hidden. This history hasn't been told. Why? Why is that history? Why am I the first one to tell you about that history? And yet the Salem witch trials became so famous. What's your theory? I see everybody's muted. I hope that you can unmute yourself and tell me your thoughts on why we know so much about Salem and we know nothing about these trials and this burning and torture of the Black population in New York in 1741. How come?
Because I feel like we kind of whitewash history and then we kind of try to suppress the real truth of real stuff that went on to minority groups and especially with Black people. And it's kind of fucked up, to be honest, because it's you rather whitewash and bring up little minor stuff than the big stuff that actually mattered.
It seems to me we have an investment in history of using the phrase the good old days. I mean, whenever I hear people talking about whether it's their family history, whether it's the history of New York, whether it's the history of the country, I don't know if you've experienced that. They have this investment of saying, oh, it was so great in the past, and now it's not, now it's terrible, right? Now we have problems. Now we have problems. But in the past, it was great. Well, I'm telling you, I'm a historian. I'm giving you a class today on this 1741 burning of Black people. And I'm telling you, it wasn't so great in the past. We had slavery in this country. That was part of our past. We burned Black people. That was part of our past. Women didn't have the right to vote. That was part of our past. Women were enslaved. That was part of our past. Minority groups are held back. So this whole theme of, oh, the good old days, forget it. Just forget it. It just
A,
not.
a lot of people that say that are people that are also reluctant to progress. I see, you know, there's a lot of things, a lot of policies that are coming out now, and they're all to progress the country and progress the world. Like there's parts of the world that have already been there for decades and we're just reaching there, but people call out against it and they're just reluctant to change and progress.
Exactly right.